Coach Ron, what would you do? Hello, friends and students. This is Coach Ron with my new segment called Coach Ron, What Would You Do? As you can tell by the opening scene, we're going to be covering a situation where a gun and a knife is involved. This question was brought up by Nate. Nate is a buddy of mine that served with me on the USS Kitty Hawk CV-63. A shout out to everyone that I served with and all the service members out there. It was a great honor of mine to be able to serve our country. Now, on to Nate's question. So, Nate had a friend who was robbed by two assailants. The first one had a knife to his throat from behind while holding the left bicep, while the other one was pointing the gun to his head. So as you can tell, this is a very difficult situation, even by professional standards. So the techniques I'm going to show are only if the situation escalated from a robbery to attempted murder, and that's when you would apply these techniques. Thankfully, Nate's friend wasn't harmed. He was robbed. And that's bad in itself because, you know, you can feel embarrassed. You can feel like you didn't do enough. But I want to, say to your friend Nate, it's nothing to be ashamed of. This is not a sport where it's fair. It's two crazy attackers victimizing you, your friend. So don't feel ashamed of that. Money can be replaced and credit cards can be canceled. So shout out to your friend Nate. He did the right thing because his life's more important. But let's see what would have happened if one of them went bloodlust on him and decided to slice his throat or shoot him anyway. So when you're in that situation and you feel like it's going to escalate, then these are the techniques. So let's go on to the video. I just want to lastly say, I do not take personal responsibility in your training on your own. I can't supervise you. Obviously, this is a video. Until we can get on Skype and do other training like that, then I could fully be your teacher. But safety first. Be very careful. Watch the whole video first, and I'll give you some tips at the end how to train safely, okay? And I will see you at the end of the video.
Let's break this down step by step. So first, over here, so the knife was at the throat. This is the standard here, and the hold up. And in this case, the left bicep was held. So this is hard enough without the gun. So in the next part, we're going to do the gun. The first thing you want to do, if you know you're going to get killed, is you're relaxed and you want to stop this motion. That's all you have to do because the carotid artery is on this side, and that's what's going to be severed. Even if you got your trachea cut, you're still going to breathe through it. It's terrible feeling, or I've seen a tracheotomy, but any other laceration besides the carotid, much better. So I'm trying to prevent this motion, okay? So from here, you want to grab from here. You put your hands up and relax as much as possible, and then you grab, okay? You're stepping out and grabbing. So what he's going to do is when he feels me resist, he's going to try to slice. So for example, if I step to the side, he's going to slice my throat. Go ahead. Okay? So when I do that, you try to stop. You try to slice my throat, okay? Here. Now I've locked it. I only have one arm. What you're doing is you're like doing a crunch with your stomach. Okay? And here, shoulder popped up. Let's do that again. Nice and slow. And here. Okay, now my chin's down. I didn't step to the side completely. I stepped out a little bit to the front because I'm going to start to turn. So even without this arm, even if he's holding it real tight, I can just here. All right, let's do that again. Nice and easy. And you have to relax. And pulling back to the side, away from the knife, and catch it. And use those hips and pop your hips, because what you're going to do is your left hip in this case should be able to hit their body and bend them forward, and then you have to step out. Okay, step out, higher levels, This is just very basic. Okay, let's do that again. So grabbing on one, stepping a little bit forward. So I'm trying to turn already. Here, shoulders up, changes the angle of the knife. Even if I missed, it might slice my chin or my jaw just because my shoulder's up high. So from here, one, changes the angle of the blade, protects the carotid, and I'm going to step through, start to turn and struggle, and get into a fighting stance and press in with the knife. Okay, last time, nice and slow. Here, here, and then once you're at this angle, you can contain it with both arms here, whatever your support it is, and thrust your hip in. One, and progressively get to their back and keep thrusting. Okay, let's do that at full speed. So, knife's here, here. What do you want? What do you want? And then you say something distracting. You have to be relaxed, and then you explode. Here, there. Okay. So, thank you. So, when you're doing this, remember this is a real scary or horrific incident. We're going to go over what to do with a gun to your head. Then we're going to piece that together, and then I'm going to give you my own version of what I would have liked to have done in that high-pressure situation. All right, just to continue and refine it, I'm going to do a side view so you can further understand it. But I want to emphasize the importance of that first grab, grabbing here or here, okay? This is ideal, but remember, grabbing with if the knife's on this side, my left hand, that kind of thing, here. The reason being, if you emphasize the closer hand, as it starts to pull, it's harder to reach. This is, look at the range here compared to reaching here. So knife's on this side, so it'll be my left hand, and it'll be the same time. And slap your own wrist, okay? Here. And then emphasizing the step from here, like that. And remember, we are not stepping directly to the side. It's starting to clock, meaning like on a regular clock where the second hand is going around, we're going to go counterclockwise here. So I'm starting to turn a little bit because eventually I want to stab if I don't get my head out. Here. So let me do it from a side view. So notice I'm not stepping directly sideways. I'm starting to step out a little bit here. And notice my right shoulder's up, and I'm tucking my chin. It's going to raise the knife up, and we'll get a close-up later. But here, here. You may have to do a couple steps here. And it might be one stab, but get that foot behind their foot and stab. So if you're going to practice this, make sure you start with this. This is the most, whether it's here, here, and my student here, what he's going to do is threaten me by saying, give me the money, and once he sees me try to grab the knife, he's going to really pull. He's going to pull like that, okay? Give me your money. Okay, he's really trying to pull right now. Give me your money.
Come back here, get stronger.
So even here, I made sure that as I turned, I concentrate on grabbing that knife. What you want to do is make sure you make contact. I missed it with my left hand, but I still have the right hand here. Step, step. All right, so let's get a close-up view sideways. Here, as it pulled, I want to go right into the crook of the elbow, like that. Here, we're making sure I'm starting to turn, and look at here, as you come up, go ahead, go in front of me with the camera. This is what happens. This is the difference. Here, look at my shoulder come up. What's it do to the knife? It changes the angle of the knife, so even if it did slip, it would probably slice my chin, which isn't savory, but it keeps you from your carotid coming in here, here, and here. All right, one last time. So here, give me money. Here, so it's a pin. If I grabbed it here, that would be natural, but in this instant, I started to slip, but here, and I want my foot behind it. Boom, boom. Okay? All right. And that's what you want. Thank you very much. I can't emphasize this enough. This is a difficult situation, no matter even if you're a professional. But the way you can practice this is put it to your throat and make sure you grab it as someone pulls. We're using rubber knives. Then my students graduate to the aluminum knife. Then the higher level, which we want to get to, I'm going to get some knives with the electricity on them and put that fear right in there. So getting away, clamping down, securing.
Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'm just going to wrap it up. I covered, ideally, a scenario where it was just a knife to the throat, grabbing both hands, having one arm free. Then you can see I only had my right arm available because in Nate's example, the left bicep was held and restrained. I believe as you turn, you could free that and go for it, but you needed that right arm. Ideally, just grab that arm. If a knife's here, you have to just contain it. Doesn't matter if it's here. You just have to get a hold of it. There's, different possibilities. You might just get it with the right hand, but if you have both on there, 2-on-1, that's the best scenario. There's other variations, adding techniques, and we can get into higher level where you grab with one hand, do a groin strike. I don't recommend that unless you train constantly. What's another thing? Grabbing the arm, headbutting back, and then going forward. Remember that hip, that kind of crunch going forward. It's like you're doing crunches on the ground. Your hip's supposed to knock their hip and thigh backwards so you have momentum, not going too far over like for a full throw. What else? I think that's about it. Just train safely. If you're going to start with a rubber knife and then graduate even to metal. But remember, check your knife. If there's any nicks on here and you're going like that, you're going to scratch yourself. Just have your training partner, do a static hold and work on that grab. If you don't get that grab, none of the other steps matter after that. So once you're able to do that and step out comfortably, then slowly, do it with the pull and eventually graduate to them when you go like this in a hostage situation, relaxing, and see who can go, if you can grab that knife before they pull. Obviously, if they were going to slice your throat anyway, you just got to make a move for it. Okay, so that just covers the knife. Part 2, we're going to cover the gun. Then I'm going to, combine all the scenarios and that one scenario and show you what I hopefully would have done in that situation. Okay, always stay safe, and I just want to say to all of you, everyone has the right to be protected. All right, this is Coach Ron signing out.